Hi, and welcome back to Moving to Hampton Roads. Today's video, we're going to take a look at 3 neighborhoods in the Jamestown area of Williamsburg. And more specifically, we're going to look at 3 neighborhoods that are clustered together on Land Road, which kind of breaks off of Jamestown Road about halfway down, heading towards historic Jamestown. Stick around, and we'll get right to it. If this is your first time to the channel, my name is David Tortellini, and I'm a realtor here in the greater Williamsburg area of southeastern Virginia. And I help people just like you buy and sell property here in the area every single day. So do me a favor and subscribe to this channel so you can see our future videos. And then when you're ready, give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email. My team and I are here, and we would absolutely love to help you with your next home purchase. So let's talk a little bit more about what we're going to view today. So we're going to look at 3 different neighborhoods, and they're going to be kind of in 3 different price points, and really one of the ones I wanted to focus on in the first video, in the first part of the video, is going to be a neighborhood where you can get a home for under $400,000. Now, we have a lot of people that reach out to us who are in this price range and who are looking for something near Jamestown, but their budget is up to $400,000. And to be honest, unless you are willing to go into a townhome, that is a very difficult price point. And so we only have a couple of parts of the Jamestown area, a couple of neighborhoods where you could potentially buy a home for under $400,000. And I really wanted you to see one. So we're going to start there, and then we're going to move one neighborhood down where we're going to see much newer homes, much bigger homes, including some that really just finished construction here in the last few months. And then we're going to move across the street, and we're going to go look at a neighborhood that is surrounded by canals and water options and is a very different feel and really unique for the area. So I'm excited for you to see all 3 of these neighborhoods. And we're going to just start actually on the map so I can show you each of the neighborhoods from a map view, show you what's around and how easy it is to get around from this area. And then we'll drive through each of the neighborhoods. I'll talk a little bit more about them, and you can get a really good feel for what they look like. All right, let's go over to the map. Okay, well, we're here on the map, and we'll start off just kind of getting you a feel for the area. You are probably familiar with Colonial Williamsburg and William and Mary campus. So you've got Colonial Williamsburg all here, William and Mary campus here, and then you can take Route 5 all the way out, and that turns into Jamestown Road or Route 31. So you can really call it either one. I think most people call it Jamestown Road. And then you can kind of come down onto Jamestown Road, and that'll bring you all the way out to the Jamestown Settlement. Makes sense? We've got Jamestown Beach, great little riverfront beach, good place to hang out. You got Jamestown Island and everything here. And then we're going to focus here on Land Road. So that really breaks off right here from Jamestown Road and kind of heads quite almost down to the Colonial Parkway. So here's the parkway here, and it really kind of ends in this little cul-de-sac right here. Now we're going to focus on 3 neighborhoods right here. So we're going to start off in Gatehouse Farms. So this is the first neighborhood I mentioned where homes are under $400,000. So you can get homes for under $400,000 in here in the 300s. And it's just this neighborhood here. So it's not a really big neighborhood. And of course it backs up to the farm. Then we'll go to a much bigger neighborhood right after that, Pelegs Point. And so that is all of this and all of this right here. So if you look at it, it circles all of this through here, Pelegs Point, and then we'll go across the street to Powhatan Shores where they have the canal. So a ton of these homes are waterfront on the canal. So really cool neighborhood, very unique. And so when we drive through there, you'll be able to see all the water, get a feel for that. I'll point out while we have the aerial option here. This is the boat launch that you can get access to in the neighborhood. We'll talk about that. And there's a little park. So we'll go up into that too. So these are the 3 neighborhoods we're going to focus on today, and we'll do them in that order right there. But this is a really great area. I mean, I'll show you down here at the end of Land. You can actually either kind of walk and maybe, pull a kayak with you, or maybe a paddleboard, or you can just ride your bike, get out onto Colonial Parkway. But there's a little walkway right here. So I love Google Maps shows you this little gray area here, but there's a little like paver walkway. And if you kind of lived anywhere along here, you could come down this way and you could go throw paddleboard or a kayak or something right here in the back river. So really cool little area. But you can also get out onto the parkway. So if you're a cyclist, I mean, the parkway might be the best place on the planet, because you can just go forever, all the way up to Jamestown and back. Really amazing ride. You're, a lot of scenic car drivers, motorcyclists are on the road too. So just be aware of that. But you can get out onto the parkway. You can come up to Billsburg Brewery, fantastic brewery right here with the water view. You got the Jamestown Yacht Basin, which is actually the James City County Marina now. I think they had a name change. They're undergoing some renovations there. So it is still open during the renovations, but they're putting a bunch of money into it. And then if you do have a boat, if you end up over where in our third neighborhood, Powhatan Shores, and you want to get out to the back river, which will then bring you out to the James River, just note that you do have to be able to get through under the parkway. And there's about an 8-foot clearance there to get underneath. And then, I mean, it's decently wide. There are a lot of pillars here and it's decently wide. So you will see some good sized boats get through. But if you have like a mini yacht, you're probably not going to make it. So, more your traditional fishing boats and kind of more normal size boats. I don't really know how to explain that because I'm not a big boater, but you can see kind of what people have here. So expect those to be able to get out anywhere you need to go, but nothing too huge. So here's some good examples of boat sizes you can get out there. So really cool area. Another brewery recently just opened up here, Frothy Moon. Very cool area. This is a huge partially covered patio area. It's got a little mini golf course. You got like a toddler, just hand them they have golf clubs and these little mini or like practice golf balls, and they'll entertain themselves for hours. And then you're really just kind of close to so much more. You can, if you want to get up to Newtown, you can just take a left here and shoot right up. It'll bring you right to kind of the Harris Teeter, and then you can kind of get over to shopping and dining and everything that you want to do, kind of as you get further up, and you can get up to Publix and you can get up to Trader Joe's and the cinema and all the fun stuff there is in Newtown to do. So that's probably about a 9 or 10 minute drive. So really, if you come from here, you shoot straight up through, you're going to be good to go, and you're going to get to all the fun stuff. You've only about a 6 or 7 minute drive to Colonial Williamsburg. And then you can even get up to the outlets in about, I don't know, maybe 15, 17 minutes, something like that. So Water Country, Busch Gardens, you are really just minutes away from lots of fun, tons to do. You got to get the season passes at Busch Gardens if you live in Williamsburg. Get the combo pass. So if you have kiddos, you can get them into into Water Country and into Busch Gardens. And it's great being able to go on a Tuesday at 4 p.m. when you can just park right up front and get right in. You've got the winery right here. So just lots and lots to do. And this is a location that I would say, can kind of feel a little bit out of the way. You've got to come down 199 and come down. So you do have to go a little ways, which, is fine because what you get is so great. So anywhere really in this area is a wonderful place to live. But for today, we are going to focus on these 3 neighborhoods right here, so you can get to know a little bit more about the Jamestown area and the housing options that are available there if you want to purchase. All right, let's jump in the car and head into Gatehouse Farms. Okay, so we're in our first neighborhood of Gatehouse Farms. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, this is a neighborhood where you can find a home for between $300,000 and $400,000, which there aren't a lot of in the Jamestown area. And really, to get below that number, you really have to normally get to just really any other part of Williamsburg, northern York County, get up into the Twino and Norge area to find homes that are under 300,000. There just really aren't any around here. So here you're going to find this is a neighborhood of just 50 houses. It's not very big. And there are homes here between 1,250 and 2,200 square feet. So you're not looking at, really big homes either. And you're going to find that they were built between 1978 and 1985. But, you're really going to get a good picture for what you get here. A lot of ranch style homes, one and two car garages, nice driveways. Everybody has a nice sized yard. It's really a nice little neighborhood, and it's in such a prime location that even at $350,000 in that range, you're getting really great value to be in this part of town. Now, most of them are going to be 3-bed, 2-bath, and there are few 4-bedroom homes here as well. But the last ones that all sold, so over they don't move too often. Most of the people, kind of stay in this neighborhood for a while. So the last 4 were all basically 3-2, 1,500-ish kind of square foot homes, and they all sold for between about $300,000 and $400,000. So I think 315 was the low mark of the last year. There is no homeowners association here and no amenities. There is an optional HOA for $35, but my understanding is that there are very, very few people who participate in it. And this is kind of a good place to move to if you want to be able to do your own thing and not have to deal with rules and regulations, and you have your boat in your yard and you don't have to deal with some HOA telling you what to do. So really great little neighborhood and great for the value. And you're going to get a nice, starter home. That's a, house right there. That's a move up for most people. So good little area and a great way to get down into the Jamestown area. Now, I am probably going to just let this play out and keep showing you the neighborhood and just let the music go, and then we'll meet you at the next neighborhood. Alrighty, and now we're going into Pelegs Point. So this is the next neighborhood down the road, and it's a much larger neighborhood. So this is 192 total homes, maybe a few more than that once all the construction is finalized and everything's recorded with the county. So we are looking right now at homes that were built by a company called H.H. Hunt. And I think they make a great home. These are some of the newer homes in the community, but not the newest. You'll see the newest as we go. Those are being built by D.R. Horton. So these homes by H.H. Hunt, have been built over the last 10 years or so. But the whole neighborhood started in 1993, and there's been consistent building all the way up through today. Now, these are also in a much different price point. You're really looking at a low end currently in mid-2023 of around $500,000 and upwards of $750,000. So you can really get into some pretty high price points here. And we're going to see homes that are anywhere from about 2,000 square feet upwards of 5,000 square feet. So there are quite a few large homes in this neighborhood. There's a good handful that are over 4,000 square feet. So you're going to see those mostly in the newer part of the community, which we're driving through right now. This is going to be a fairly long segment. I do want to show you a lot of this community. So I will probably be kind of jumping in and out of this video at times. So we may just turn it over to music for a few minutes, and then then I might jump back in. So we're going to drive through the new section. Right now, we're going to show you that whole thing. So now we're getting into the D.R. Horton houses. So you can see there's a little bit different style, maybe a little bit more of a plain look to the front of the homes, less like front porches. They just don't quite have that kind of craftsman style that H.H. Hunt integrated into their homes. So kind of you get a little bit more of a just a straight traditional look with the D.R. Horton builds. But overall, beautiful neighborhood. You got some 3-car garages, and these homes are, they are currently maybe one on the market at any given time in this neighborhood right now. So you're looking at some really great homes, nice size yards. Everybody, you're not on a tiny postage stamp, but you're not on more than a half an acre. Most of these homes are going to be on about a quarter, 2.4 acres. But you're going to get a lot of modern amenities, particularly with the H.H. Hunt builds that we're looking at now. All right, so let's keep driving through this part of the neighborhood, and then we'll probably pick it back up, and I'll jump right in when we get to the older part of the neighborhood. Now we're heading into the original phases of the neighborhood. So I'm sure you noticed the transition from the newest houses to those last stretch that we had that were a little bit older, probably early 2000s on those, and now we're heading back into homes that were built in the 90s. So we're gonna just drive through here. The neighborhood, I'm sure you're curious, a neighborhood like this, you'd mostly anticipate there being a homeowners association, and there is, but it's only $15 a month. It's really just there so that there's a set of rules and regulations for the neighborhood, and so that somebody can maintain a couple of little spots in, like around the sign, so a little bit of ground maintenance. Really, you don't get anything else other than that. There are no playgrounds, no pool, anything like that in this neighborhood. I would say, for me, that's probably the one thing that this neighborhood is really missing. I would like Peleg's Point to have that. I think it would be fantastic, and it seems like the kind of neighborhood that should have it, but it doesn't. So that's just the one thing about this neighborhood that I would list as a negative, unless you don't want to pay an HOA and you don't ever want to use those type of amenities. But there are a lot of families in here, and I know some of the other neighborhoods up the street that do have the pools that get used a whole lot, and I'm sure that one would here. But again, they don't have amenities in this neighborhood. You really are getting, though, a extremely well-maintained, very beautiful neighborhood, and really just everybody who is here really loves it. So, all right, I am going to continue to tour you through the neighborhood, and I'm going to continue to drive through, and then I will see you at our final subdivision, which is going to be Powhatan Shores. and that will bring us across the street to Powhatan Shores. Now, I happen to think this is a really cool neighborhood. I love that so many of these homes have the canal right behind them. You're not going to get the big modern home in this neighborhood like you will in Pelegs Point. I mean, these homes were built between 1976 and 1994, so you're really just not looking at getting the modern layout, the huge open layout in this neighborhood. It's much more of a traditional style home, and just it's an older house. It just kind of is what it is, but you're going to get a lot more variety. As you can see, we're going to have ranch style homes, a lot of two-story. You'll even see a little bit of unique architecture in here as well. So these neighborhoods, this neighborhood, it's interesting because there is no HOA, but we're coming up on the community playground and park. So the Thurman Keith Memorial Park, it's got a nice little basketball court, playgrounds. So there are a couple of amenities here in the neighborhood where, the neighborhood can gather, kids can come play, throw football around, play soccer, do whatever. So kind of really interesting in that they have this, but they don't have the mandatory HOA that you have to join. So really kind of cool area. And then as we're going to kind of come in and out of the neighborhood a couple times, but there's a big horse farm down at the bottom. So you can always just go for a stroll and go see the horses down at the farm. So there you go. That's pretty cool to be able to do that. Really a unique feature because this part of Williamsburg, it is a little bit more of, I'd say it's a little bit more of a country feel than even being kind of on the main part of Jamestown Road or on Route 5, where it feels maybe a little bit more suburban. This because there are some farms here, it's a little more open and it just has a little bit more of a country feel to it. But you're going to get some Cape Cod style houses. You're going to get big front porches. It's just a unique kind of neighborhood. Now, so most of the homes in here are going to be between 1,600 and 4,500 square feet. So there's a big range. And because of the water, you're going to have a huge range in price points too. So the last year or so, we're looking at $425,000 up to $750,000 for a big, beautiful home that had, an acre, I think about an acre of land, maybe 3/4, with, 2/3 of it was waterfront. So you get some really unique opportunities. You can see we're starting to see some houses that back up to the canal and everything. So, in this neighborhood, you really, the water is actually called the Powhatan Shores Canal, and then the big water that it can back up to as well is the Powhatan Creek. So that's going to get you, once you're in the Powhatan Creek, you can take that down to, Billsburg Brewery. You can take your boat straight to a brewery. How cool is that? And it's one of the better breweries in the area. So, and it's a really unique, fun place, a lot of activities going on there. And then, of course, you can get all the way out to the James River as long as your boat isn't too big. This neighborhood, one of the things you need to keep in mind if you do want to get on the canal is that you may have flood insurance. So, these homes that are on the canal, I've never heard of any real, major flooding problems or anything, but because they do lie in a mandatory flood zone, you may be required to get flood insurance if you do want to get there on the water. So speaking of water, there is an optional $200 a year HOA to get access to the public boat launch. So I think I showed you that on the map at the very beginning. There's a little boat launch, and if you want to have access to that, so you can put in, your own boat, jet skis, anything you're in the mood for, just $200 a year, which I think is an amazing deal to be able to, if you're not on one of the waterfront properties, to be able to just, go right down there for a couple bucks a month and be able to do that. Now, we're driving around. We are going to come back up on that in about a minute. So, just really a unique neighborhood with kind of Houndstail equestrian right there. Most of these homes are 3 and 4 bedroom. There's some 5 bedrooms. Everything's 2 to 4 baths. I think there's a couple houses that have 5 baths. So really just it's a different field than Pelegs Point. So you may prefer one over the other if you're looking to be in here, because the price ranges overall are fairly similar. Now, as we come around here, there's going to be one of the newest houses in the area coming up right here. Very modern, kind of modern farmhouse look. I know that a lot of people really love that look these days. So I don't know if that one's ever going to go up for sale, but when it does, I'm sure people will jump on it. And we're coming up to the boat launch now. So I got some kind of clips here up close to it. So here it is, and then this is what it looks like, you know, right from there. So you can drop the boat right down there, shot down the canal, and kind of give you a feel for this space right here. But really neat to be able to have that right in your backyard. And we're gonna pull out of there, and then really I'm just gonna drive you through the rest of the neighborhood, and then we'll just meet up again at the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's tour and learned a little bit about living in the Jamestown area. If you have any comments or questions, you can leave those below and I'll reply to them as soon as possible. Also leave some links in the description for home searches for the different neighborhoods that we looked at today, as well as a larger home search for the greater area. So you can check out what's currently for sale whenever you watch this video. In the meantime, don't forget to like this video, share it with anyone else you know, and subscribe to this channel. You can also follow me on Instagram at David Tortellini EXP. And then when you're ready, give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email. My team and I would love to help you out with your next home search. Again, my name is David Tortellini. Thank you so much for watching.